Bonjour, bienvenue au Théâtre national de la presse. Avant de commencer, on a quelques mesures préventives importantes à vous communiquer. So, to prevent disruptive and audio feedback incident that can cause injuries, we remind all participants to keep their earpieces away from all microphones at all the time. When you're not using your earpiece, please place it face down on the middle of the sticker for this purpose that you will find on the table. Please consult the cards on the table for guidelines to prevent audio feedback incidents. These measures are in place to protect health and safety of the participant, but also health and safety of our interpreter. So thank you for that. And then, Minister and your guests, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much. Bonjour tout le monde. Bienvenue. Good morning, everyone. It's really great to be here with everyone. I'm Brendan Hanley, the Member of Parliament for the Yukon. And first, I want to acknowledge that we are gathered here with tremendous gratitude on the traditional unceded territory of the Anishinaabe Algonquin people. And today we come together to celebrate an important announcement. Tourism is vital to the Yukon and to the Yukon economy, a fact that I think everyone in this room deeply understands. And Minister Ferrada, Martinez, I know your time in the Yukon was incredibly special. We were there not very long ago, thanks to our dedicated local tourism operators. Indigenous-led tourism really presents a remarkable opportunity for cultural preservation as well as economic empowerment. And today we're discussing the Indigenous Tourism Fund, and specifically the signature Indigenous Tourism Experiences stream. So I'm delighted to announce $750,000 in funding to the Kwanlin Dün First Nation for the expansion of offerings at the Sky High Wilderness Ranch. The ranch has exemplified a signature tourism experience, providing authentic cultural offerings that benefit the Yukon, the Kwanlin Dün First Nation, and all visitors to our territory. I know it's a really exciting place and a very beautiful location. So I really look forward to seeing the new developments and offerings that will emerge from this announcement. I'm really happy to be here in the company of Minister Soraya Martinez Ferrada, as well as Chief Sean Smith, who's with the Councillor Linda, and also with Minister Streicker, and also with Elaine Chambers from NACA. But I'd like to introduce, first of all, the Honourable Soraya Martinez Ferrada, the Minister of Tourism and the Minister responsible for Economic Development Agency of Canada for the regions of Quebec. So, Soraya, over to you.
Thank you so much. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for acknowledging that we are in the unceded territory of the Anishinaabe people, Algonquin people. A big thank for you for the introduction. Yes, it was actually very much fun to be in Yukon. It was my first time being with you, meeting Chief Smith, and being with Minister Streicker too. Thank you so much. Thank you for being here, all of you. Today we're talking about Indigenous tourism. Indigenous tourism is a way to preserve culture and stories of First Nation, Inuit, and Métis people. Indigenous tourism is also a major driver of economic growth for Indigenous communities and people. When we talk numbers, we can see that the workforce, which is an estimated 18,000 people that work in the Indigenous tourism sector or associated industry, the combined economy impact of these people, of all these workers, it's almost $800 million in our GDP. And that's just the beginning, because we know that the potential of growth is tremendous. C'est pourquoi nous avons lancé le Fonds pour le tourisme autochtone, pour investir dans la croissance économique des entreprises touristiques autochtones. Une partie de ce fonds soutient l'augmentation de la main-d'œuvre dans les sites autochtones qui offrent des expériences uniques dans leur genre. Le volet des expériences touristiques autochtones emblématique du Fonds pour le tourisme autochtone est offert par l'Association nationale des sociétés autochtones de financement, NACA, for the ones that actually know the acronyms. This indigenous-led approach investments in the tourism attractions, it's a major pull. We are one support the star factor of the industry. the impact and the extended network of the surrounding tourism offering. The goal is simple: attracting high-spending international tourist interest in cultural experiences and connecting them to the one-of-a-kind Indigenous-led tourism experience here in Canada. So I'm really glad that, Brandon, we made the announcement today. I had the pleasure to meet with Chief Smith when I was in Yukon. And let me tell you that the ambition of Black communities is tremendous. Kwanlin Dün First Nation in Yukon Territory is receiving, like Tim Brendan said, a little over $750,000 to expand its accommodations at the Sky High Wilderness Ranch. With more log cabins to host larger groups, the First Nation will increase its revenue and allow more visitors. The ranch provides a nature experience of lifetime while maintaining minimal environmental impact. The experiences prioritize the respect of the animals and the land of Yukon pristine wilderness. Since becoming a Minister of Tourism, I had the privilege of getting up close and personal with many Canada's extraordinary offerings. But that's especially true in authentic Indigenous experiences, the ones that we see in Yukon. With the economic growth of tourism outpacing their overall economy, it is by supporting projects like this one that we maximize the growth potential. In the Yukon, tourism contributes more than $110 million towards the GDP. That's only in 2019. And in 2023, international tourists visit the Yukon jumped almost 20% last year, with further growth expected this year. Indigenous tourism reflects the broader shift we've seen in worldwide travel trend. In reevaluating their priorities, tourism are looking for more authentic, meaningful, and sustainable experiences. We also understand the importance of guaranteeing that communities are that the economic benefits are for their own community. The Kwanlin Dün First Nation is sharing their story and their culture with the world. They should be the primary economic benefit of that success. And that's why the Indigenous Tourism Fund is coming in. This is the first project of many to come to the Signature Experience Stream Fund, and there will be more. 88% of Canadians want to participate in Indigenous tourism and culture activities. Let's connect them to all the great offerings we have already. I want to thank and congratulate NACA for leading the delivery of this program. When federal support successfully reaches out Indigenous tourism businesses, the impact can be profound. Together, we can strengthen communities, preserve heritage, create great places to visit and to live. But meaningful, we can make sure that Indigenous tourism is by their own community-led for them to grow at their own pace and by their own decisions. So on to that, I want to introduce Chief Smith. Thank you for being here, and the floor is yours.
Claire Shokothan, Yakates Itat, Game Sothan. That's good morning in three of our First Nation languages back home. Ayenji Uyenesichu Ye, Kuchunk E Sean Smith Ye, Gunich E, Kwanlin Kuchanich E. Kwanlin Dün Natheda each E Shu. So I shared my traditional name of Uyenesichia. My English name is Sean, and I'm of the Wolf Clan, and I'm from Kwanlin, a beautiful place, that Mr. Ferrada was describing within her address. Accompanying me is Councillor Linda Moen of the Kwanlin Dün First Nation. We are very happy to be here to be part of this this announcement of funding for a recent purchase within the last year. The Sky High Ranch, Wilderness Ranch, amazing opportunity. We traveled this long ways, to come to you from our beautiful home of Kwanlin, or otherwise known as Whitehorse. I'm happy to be here to announce funding that Kwanlin Dün First Nation will receive to go towards the tourism business, the Sky High Wilderness Ranch. Kwanlin Dün First Nation purchased the ranch in December 2023. Located at Tluzilmun, or Fish Lake, Sky High Wilderness Ranch. It is in the heart of Kwanlin Dün First Nation traditional territory. The area is of great historical significance to Kwanlin Dün people and our families. The purchase is an opportunity for Kwanlin Dün that represents a return to Tluzon area, to reclaim opportunities for us to connect with the land and for us to really deepen those important connections for our citizens. And it's a land-based opportunity for us in terms of wellness and learning as each and every generation is born. They're going to have these opportunities moving ahead. The ranch is a large 60 acres of land, and it does have what comes with it is also a over 500 hectare grazing lease, and as well as a trap line. So a number of different opportunities that we expand upon the whole Sky High Tourism Ranch, but it wasn't just focused on the tourism opportunity, as well as the other opportunities that we also have to look at when we're looking at implementing our self-government and those important investments that we make for our citizens. I'd like to acknowledge Minister Ferrada for the receiving the funding and all the other people that has been involved in this, and really appreciation goes to our staff within Kwanlin Dün, Greg Thompson, who applied for this funding. It's gonna just help grow this business and develop these opportunities for empowering citizens within our nation to be part of this, to learn the capacity. For the funding will go towards things like new cabins to enhance accommodations at the ranch, increasing revenues, but also increasing space. We know space is important to expand upon that. A new visitor experience center, which is also going to be a /elders center, which we're going to be able to host workshops and those other opportunities for us to provide transmission of knowledge, culture, history, in connection with that amazing, beautiful area. Enhancing the tourism opportunities and providing new employment and cultural engagement opportunities within the Yukon and those that come to visit us from outside. And and it's been always those things that our elders had asked for people to come when they come to our traditional territory, to visit our lands, to meet our people, is to learn. Is to learn and have those experiences. I took a course in cultural tourism 15 years ago, and it was big then, and it's still big because people want to have those real, authentic experiences. Sky High is a growing. Sky High Wilderness Ranch is a growing opportunity. The funding will help us build on that opportunity to provide development and increasing the cultural experiences. We are very excited and grateful to receive the funding from the federal government of Canada. And if anyone is visiting our territory from outside, please come give us a call or check out the website. And there's amazing things there in terms of dog sledding experiences. I've gone on it myself. Minister Haidu had come to visit us in last spring, the late spring, and those kind of things to connect. We also have horses there, so providing those experiences. Cabins will continue to grow those opportunities and involvement of our citizens. So really appreciate everything. Daga Shonithan, Minister Ferrada, and Elaine and Minister Streicker and everyone else who has been involved. So Masicho Ganeshchish Daga Shonithan. I'd like to introduce Elaine Chambers.
Thank you. Good morning, everybody. Before I begin, I'd like to acknowledge that we're gathered on the traditional and unceded territory of the Algonquin and Anishinaabe people. It is a great privilege to share this moment in a place so deeply rooted in our history and culture. As a proud citizen of the Champagny-Anajiac First Nation, a member of the Crow, it brings me immense pride to stand here as chair of NACA, National Aboriginal Capital Corporation Board of Directors, and representing the Yukon. Today's announcement represents a significant milestone, not only for the Indigenous tourism, but for our broader mission of empowering Indigenous entrepreneurs and communities across this country through the network of 50 plus AFIs, Indigenous financial institutions. Today we celebrate the first recipient of the signature Indigenous tourism experience stream, which is called the SITES program, Kwanlin Dün First Nation. This project amplifies the strength, creativity, and the culture richness of Indigenous tourism. Through this funding, Kwanlin Dün will expand, as Chief Smith spoke about, the Sky High Wilderness Ranch near Whitehorse, Yukon, a destination offering a year-round experience that immerses visitors in the beauty and traditions of the North. As someone who hails from the North and Chief Executive Officer of Donanai Ventures, which is an IFI, I know firsthand the profound impact that ventures like this have on local economies and communities. Sky High Wilderness Ranch is not just a tourism destination, it's a getaway for visitors to engage with Indigenous stories and experience the land through the Indigenous lens. This achievement also highlights the critical role of Indigenous Financial Institutions Network. For over 35 years, IFIs have been instrumental in fostering economic growth by providing tailored financial support to Indigenous entrepreneurs. The success of the sites is rooted in the strengths of this network, which NACA is proudly represents. Through collaboration and other partners, including the Government of Canada and the Indigenous Advisory Committee, we ensure that the programs like the sites uplift and empower our communities. These partnerships amplify our ability to create opportunities, sustain traditions, and support long-term prosperity and Indigenous entrepreneurs. This announcement underscores the value of NACA's partnership with ISED. Together we are driving meaningful progress, investing in projects that not only elevate Indigenous tourism, but also contribute to the economic reconciliation. The SITES program is a testament to what we can be achieved when governments, Indigenous organizations, and communities work together. To Chief Smith and the Kwanlin Dün First Nation, congratulations. Your work embodies the transformation power of Indigenous tourism, creating experiences that resonate globally while strengthening your community locally. Thank you to Minister Ferrada and the ISED for your support and commitment to advancing Indigenous-led projects, and to all those involved in this initiative. Thank you for your dedication and vision. At NACA, we firmly believe that Indigenous entrepreneurs are key to building more inclusive and prosperous future for all today. And with the demand, we see that lots of more tourism programs can help all across Canada. So today's announcement is just the beginning of what we can achieve together. Goodness cheese. Now I'd like to introduce Minister John Streicker, Minister of Tourism Culture for the Government of Yukon.
Hi everybody, thanks Elaine. First of all, I'm super proud to be here today. And I didn't know it was the first project, so thank you so much, Canada. And just for Canadians who might be choosing to come to the Yukon, we love where we live. And often you will come to Whitehorse and the traditional territories of the Kwanlin Dün First Nation and the T'an Council. And what we know about our visitors, and Chief Smith said earlier, you're coming from outside. We think of you as outside of the Yukon, and we welcome you. And when you come, we know that you want an authentic experience to get a real feel for who we are and our stories. And we were really very excited last year when Kwanlin Dün chose to take over Sky High Ranch. Because there is this, we know that when it is the Kwanlin Dün, they're going to make sure that the way that this happens is going to respect the land, because that's their commitment and that's their story, that's their truth. and that will be shared with those visitors. So, and Minister Ferrada, when you talked earlier about how important tourism is for us in the Yukon, for Canadians thinking about visiting us, tourism is bigger in the Yukon than anywhere else in Canada. It's a bigger piece of our economy than any other jurisdiction. And I can say to you that this year we're surpassing 2019. So it's been a long journey out of COVID, and we're really happy to see the sector rebound so well. And we think that the future of this it's been one of the pillars of our tourism development strategy, is to focus on First Nations tourism and culture. And I think, Chief Smith, you talked about how it has to work together, and I think that's so important. So when you come to the Yukon and you come to the traditional territory of the Kwanlin Dün, and you just go up into the hills in behind by the mountains, you'll find Sky High Ranch on a lake. And if you're there in the summer, you can stay in one of the cabins. You can take horseback rides and go up and hike into the hills. If you're there in the winter, you can ride on a dog sled. If you want a sense of what that looks like, check out the Yukon. It's a little bit metal, because we just did an ad a little under a year ago, and I was super excited when I heard that it was going to be Kwanlin Dün Sky High Ranch dog teams that were featured in that ad. So earlier you heard Chief say Shonithan, which is thank you in Southern Shoshone. So and then he also said Gonalshish, which is thank you in the Tlingit languages, and he also said Masicho, which is thank you in Northern Shoshone, Han, and Gwich'en. So on behalf of the Yukon government, I would like to say congratulations. I would like to say Shonithan, Masicho, Gonalshish. It is so exciting to see this announcement. And to Canada, merci. Thank you so much for investing in the Yukon. It is so appreciated. And we turn it over to questions now? Is that okay? So thanks, everyone. Yeah, thank you. Congratulations. Why don't you guys step forward? I'm sure the questions are going to be for...
So we have few questions online. First one is from Jim Elliott. You can use. Jim, I don't know if you can hear us, but it's your turn.
Yes, I could. Am I being heard there in the room?
Are you okay? Can you just tell us who your question
Sorry.
is? Okay.
Am I being heard there or not?
So go ahead.
Okay. I'd just like to know about the intake process for any other First Nations or Indigenous tourism operators who might be involved. How does that work?
The intake process was handled through the Indigenous financial institutions, which Donadai Ventures is the one in the Yukon. So what we did is reach out to any tourism business, any First Nation corporations, anybody that we knew, and then we asked them to submit their applications. Some of them went through the IFI, some went directly into the NACA office, and then from that there was a team struck within NACA who went through with a committee, and then they went through all the applications. We had over 250 applications, so we had to screen it down because $10 million seems like a lot of money, but when you're looking at projects of 500 and up, it doesn't take long to eat up those dollars. So that's how the process was selected.
Jim, do you have a follow-up?
No, thank you. That'll be just fine.
Thank you. And now we're going to Sarah O'Connor from APTN.
No questions for me, thanks.
Okay, thank you. So that's what conclude the press conference this morning. Thank you all for visiting.